We're back with another 2021 Player Outlook presented by RotoHeat.com. This time we're talking Jalen Reagor, wide receiver, Philadelphia Eagles. And if you're enjoying what you're doing, let YouTube know by smashing that like, the subscribe, the notification icon. Stay up to date with our live streams, player profiles, and everything else we do here on YouTube. All right, so the 11 guys that looked at Reagor, 5 are buying him, 2 are holding him, 4 are selling him. So obviously there's pretty even across the board. The team thinks he'll be a spot starter this year, and we also think that his ADP will be higher this next year as opposed to it is currently. When you look at his redraft ADP, fantasy football as a whole, I think he's pretty far down. Probably like super deep type guy. When you look at like Fantasy Pros, he's at 191 overall, or wide receiver 69. I mean, that's, wide receiver 5-6 ranges. So when you look at the Dynasty ADP over on RotoHeat.com, we got him at 124 overall, or wide receiver 49. So, everybody's kind of a little bit more on the deeper side of things with Reagor. And there's a lot of concerns. In 2021, we have concerns across the board with this Eagles team. New head coach, Jalen Hurts at quarterback, a true number one receiver in Devonta Smith being brought in the draft, Sanders, Gainwell out of the backfield, Goddard, possibly Ertz at receiver. I mean, there's a lot of receiving options, and we're not sure really truly how many pass attempts are going to be going around. Is this team going to be at the low end, and they're going to focus on being a run-first team to help Hurts as he develops as a starting quarterback? Is Hurts the guy? I mean, there's so many questions that folks are really going to wait and see on a lot of the pieces of this offense to later parts of the draft. But that being said, if you've watched any of our stuff, Rick and I are both big Reagor guys. So we're still hopeful long-term for him. The addition of Smith is only going to help. Reagor was never truly the number one option in this offense, or wasn't supposed to be. This is a really dynamic slot type receiver. I know some of the guys that when I was looking through the notes said hands looked rough last year. The offense as a whole looked rough last year. So it wasn't exactly, just one piece of this puzzle that broke it. It was everybody struggled. So changing staff, changing culture, changing everything, you never know. What do you think in the comments? Let me know. Obviously, we want to keep this conversation going. Are you buying him? You holding him? Selling him? What's your take on him from a dynasty perspective? Reagor is a guy that, if you're looking for a 2021 piece here, he's a depth guy until you really start to see things. And depending on how deep your league is, he's probably a super late round pick. Teens late round pick. Potentially, because the top option, most likely, as long as he picks up the playbook, Devonta Smith. Next man up, Goddard should easily be one of the top options in the passing game. Then where do the running backs factor in? Is Jalen Reagor your number 4 option on this offense? Might be. So if that's the case, then the fantasy relevance this year is just not there. But from a dynasty perspective, definitely target this guy. Don't be afraid to pick him up and see what happens. He came out highly touted last year, and a lot of the folks here were big fans of him. Give him a chance. Second-year guy, young guy, has opportunity, has ability, has quality pieces around him. Again, keep the conversation going in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. We'll talk to you again in the next player profile or on a live stream. See you guys.